Hey, what's going on guys? Mush back at it with another video. We got a couple of things to cover in today's video. GOG is celebrating their 10th anniversary, and why should you care? Well, because they are running a couple of cool things. You're able to vote for your anniversary gift right now. There's a voting going on. You can pick from one of 3 games, and the one that wins the vote will be offered free on October 4th, and these are some excellent games, and I'm going to tell you guys which one you need to pick, because honestly, out of the 3, even though they're all pretty good, one of them really does stand out. And also, to celebrate their 10th anniversary, they've got an awesome modern classics collection available right now. They've got 3 games for $25, and it's an absolute bargain. Outside of that, also want to talk a little bit about Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That game is releasing tomorrow for those of you that buy the gold edition. DSOG has a little article over there where they analyze the performance and the fact that as far as CPU goes, it actually looks to be a little bit less intensive than Assassin's Creed Origins. If you guys don't know, AC Origins was an absolute behemoth on the CPU side of things. That game in general was pretty difficult to run, especially if you were playing at higher resolutions. If you're playing at like 1080p, not too bad, but at 4K, a 1080 was struggling pretty hard if you're looking to max the game out. With Odyssey, it does look like the CPU is less demanding. However, on the GPU side of things, it's still pretty intensive. And lastly, want to talk a little bit about Google's Project Stream. They are getting into the gaming business, and they are starting it with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. They got a little partnership with Ubisoft, and they'll allow you to stream AC Odyssey to your Chrome browser on a laptop or desktop. I know streaming and gaming, whenever I mention that, it seems like people are just like, alright, come on, we don't want to stream our games. But still a pretty interesting development. First off, I do want to take a look at GOG's 10-year anniversary, the vote that is going on. So you can vote out of 3 games, and the one that wins the vote will be offered absolutely free on October 4th. The games include Superhot, Firewatch. Those 2 games are good, but let's be real, Shadow Warrior 2 has to take the cake. Shadow Warrior 2 is a game that still goes for a pretty penny. Really, unlike Superhot and Firewatch, which are 2 games that are often available relatively cheap, I believe when Shadow Warrior 2 goes on sale, it's still like $16.99. And generally speaking, I have experience with all 3 of the games. All 3 are really good, but Shadow Warrior 2 is just on another level. That is a really, really good game. The sequel to Shadow Warrior 1, that game was great, but Shadow Warrior 2 is even better. Has cooperative play, has a lot of variety in its gameplay, just a game I always recommend. And now that you have the opportunity to get it for free, go ahead and vote for it. Voting will end in 2 days and 18 hours, and then the game will be live on October 4th for you to download. Now, it won't be a Steam key because GOG is all about DRM free, but still, to get a free copy of Shadow Warrior 2, that is a gigantic thumbs up for me. That is good stuff. Also, on top of that voting, they've got an awesome 10th Anniversary Collection 3, the Modern Classics. It's available for $25. It's a bundle of 3 games, and they are 3 really good games. So right off the bat, you get Kingdom Come Deliverance. Kingdom Come Deliverance is a game that on sale goes for like $40. So the fact that it's included in this bundle for $25, that already takes care of the price. But not only Kingdom Come Deliverance, you get Battle Chasers, Night War, and Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun. I'm not too familiar with Night War, and it's a game I know people do think very highly of, just not a game I'm familiar with. But Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun, as far as strategy game enthusiasts go, that is an awesome title. And you guys know me, I'm not a big fan of strategy games, but Shadow Tactics is absolutely dope. So to get Kingdom Come Deliverance, to get Battle Chasers Night War, and to get Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun for $25, that is an absolutely awesome deal. So GOG doing a lot of good stuff for their 10th anniversary. Moving on from that, the reviews for Assassin's Creed Odyssey have been posted, and with that, we are also getting some early performance indications. And over at DSO Gaming, they have an article, a pretty in-depth article, talking about the performance, the settings of the game, and it looks like the game is doing pretty well. They are saying at high settings, 1080p and 60 FPS, a GTX 980 Ti, which is an older GPU, is running at no problem, and the game does seem to be less CPU intensive than Assassin's Creed Origins, which was an absolute monster on the CPU side of things. As far as graphics options goes, it looks pretty similar to Assassin's Creed Origins, and there's a lot of options from graphical quality, adaptive quality, anti-aliasing, shadows, environment details, texture details, terrain, clutter, fog, and a couple more on top of that. And as far as reviews go, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is being received really, really well. It is a lot similar to Assassin's Creed Origins, so if you played that and didn't really enjoy it, Odyssey is probably not going to be up your alley because it once again goes to that more RPG style of gameplay. It's got some Assassin's Creed fundamentals, but really it's a lot different than, say, Assassin's Creed 4 or Assassin's Creed 2. You're getting a completely different game. This is building upon AC Origins. It's got a bigger focus on naval combat, which is kind of cool. You've got different genders to play as. There's romantic relationships. So they're definitely going the more RPG and almost BioWare route of developing games and creating Assassin's Creed into a different kind of experience, which I'm all for. Assassin's Creed got a little bit stale after games like Assassin's Creed Unity and Assassin's Creed Syndicate. A revitalization was really needed, and I thought Assassin's Creed Origins was a pretty good game, even though I wasn't a big fan about the fact that you pretty much had to do side content, because the main story, every mission kind of had its level requirement, and if you didn't hit that level, the game was going to be super difficult, so you were kind of forced to do side content, level up, and then take on missions that way. I know that's not a big issue to a lot of people because you're planning on doing all of the content anyway, but in my opinion, Assassin's Creed Origins' side content left a lot to be desired, so that's why I wasn't a big fan of that. However, the entirety of the game was still rather good, and it does look like, based on early performance indications, that AC Odyssey will be running pretty well as far as Assassin's Creed standards go on PC. And speaking of Assassin's Creed, Google is launching Project Stream, which is their own streaming platform where you can stream games, and they are partnering with Ubisoft to offer Assassin's Creed Odyssey as one of those games. The official post states that starting on October 5th, a limited number of participants will get to play the latest in the best-selling franchise at no charge for the duration of the Project Stream test. The idea of streaming such graphically rich content that requires near-instant interaction between the game controller and the graphics on screen poses a number of challenges. When streaming TV or movies, consumers are comfortable with a few seconds of buffering at the start, but streaming high-quality games requires latency measured in milliseconds with no graphic degradation. The technology and creativity behind these AAA video games is extraordinary, from incredible detail and lifelike movement of the characters, skin, clothing, and hair. Alright, that's a little bit excessive, but I get Google's promotional speak. To the massive scale of the world in which the game unfolds, down to every last blade of grass. Every pixel is powered by an array of real-time rendering technology, artistry, visual effects, animation, simulation, physics, and dynamics were inspired by the game creators who spend years crafting these amazing worlds, adventures, and experiences. And we're building technology that we hope will support and empower that creativity. Now, streaming technology isn't something completely out of this world. It's not like this is new. We've had platforms like OnLive, PlayStation acquired them, they've got PlayStation Now, and PS Now has recently just started offering downloads for PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 4 games directly onto your PlayStation 4, so it kind of goes to show we are nowhere near a world where game streaming is going to actually be viable for the majority of gamers. Game downloads are starting to be more and more accepted even on the console front, but game streaming is an entirely different animal. For somebody like me, I tried PlayStation Now on my PC. I have a wired connection, and even then, I experienced some latency issues while playing games. So for somebody like me that has an above average connection, that is on wired connection, and still experiencing issues, well then for the majority of people, you are going to be completely screwed if you're not on a wired connection, if you're wireless, far away from your router, you don't have the best connection in the world, you are completely SOL when it comes to game streaming. That's why I think this is something that is so far away. I get why a lot of these companies are trying to set up the infrastructure for this because it could be the future, but I think that future is so far away, and I just don't think it's something that's going to be viable next generation or even the generation after that. If you told me back in the PS2 days that 2 generations from now we were going to be downloading a lot of games, I probably would have believed you. But right now, if you're telling me that game streaming is going to be accepted 2 generations from now, even in 10 years, that everybody is just streaming these big budget games and no one's buying them anymore, I'm sorry, I just don't think that's going to be the case, but I've been wrong before, so we will wait and see. But that's going to conclude this video, guys. Again, GOG is celebrating their 10th anniversary. I'll leave a link in the description box down below where you can vote for which game you want to see be absolutely free. I'll also leave a link to the 10th Anniversary Collection 3, the Modern Classics bundle, which is $25, includes Kingdom Come Deliverance, Battle Chasers Night War, and Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun. AC Odyssey releases tomorrow if you're picking up the Gold Edition, otherwise it's coming Friday, and it looks like early indications of performance seem to be positive as far as AC standards are concerned. Speaking of AC, Google will be launching Project Stream, their own streaming platform. I don't have high hopes for it, but we'll see how it plays out. That's gonna conclude this video, guys. If you have a request for a future video, leave it in the comments section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.